So what was it that Yogi Berra used to say? Deja vu all over again? Well, didn't last night, the TFC game where they lost 3-0 to Chivas USA, putting an icing on the fact that they were, of course, eliminated from the MLS playoffs yesterday evening. Didn't that feel like 2007 to you guys? It certainly did to me. TFC, due to a lack of talent and with due respect to everybody on the field, frankly, I think a lack of character, were literally bossed off the field last night in Los Angeles. TFC, of course, losing 3-0 to one of the worst teams in Major League Soccer, Chivas USA. San Jose Earthquakes, which was the team that TFC was chasing, and they had that infinitesimal little chance still going into the games yesterday evening to qualify for the MLS playoffs. San Jose basically had to lose their last, I think, 4 games on the hop. TFC had to win all of their games. There are 3 games left in order to have a chance of making the playoffs. So around 9:30 yesterday evening, San Jose had beaten DC United 2-0. So going into the game last night, I'm sure that the TFC players knew that the game really didn't mean anything when it comes to making the playoffs. So it was a test of character. What do you do when you've really got nothing to play for? I personally believe that you play for the badge. You play for the fans. You play for a sense of professionalism and pride in what you're doing. You play for contracts. And in numerous cases last night, a lot of Toronto FC players, frankly, were found wanting. I'll start with Mista. Again, one of my real bones of contention with the club over the last few weeks. He didn't even make the trip to Chivas. The team came out and basically said that he had, quote-unquote, a foot contusion. I tweeted last night that the only kind of foot contusion that a guy like Mista is going to have is he probably dropped his wallet on his toe and gave himself a bruise. That wallet, of course, stuffed with $100 bills. Absolutely disgraceful. He's played 9 league games for TFC. I think 1 or 2 games in the Champions League, and has got 1 goal. Pablo Vidi, Colin Samuel scored more goals. Laurent Robert scored more goals than Mista has in Major League Soccer play. So, frankly, the biggest waste of flesh we've had in this team, arguably, based on his salary, in the short history of the club. Speaking of expensive players, Julian de Guzman, frankly, I felt was a non-entity last night. He didn't look engaged. He didn't look like he was bossing anybody through that defensive part of the midfield yesterday. His outlet passes were poor. I saw him do a lot more walking than he did running. Speaking of walking rather than running, and Jason Devos, to his credit, really called him out on this. Team captain Dwayne De Rosario had the opportunity late in the game a couple of times to track back defensively and potentially either negate or even shut down a couple of Chivas opportunities that in both cases led to the goals that gave Chivas first the 2-0 and then finally the nail in the coffin, the 3-0 result. Again, Dero just literally gave up on the play, started to walk. Chivas came in on the breaks and scored. Nick Garcia, again, another bone of contention for a lot of fans, including yours truly, all season and all last season. Frankly, to me, looked at a position almost all night long. He was pinching from the fullback position. He got caught flat-footed a number of times in midfield. The first Chivas goal that Adrian Can was cleared with his head into the fullback position. Saw Nick Garcia about maybe 20, 25 yards up the pitch, trying to very slowly gallop his way back into the play. The ball came back in. Chivas scored, and that was it for the game right there, of course, because TFC wasn't able offensively to put anything together. I think the only player from the TFC perspective that really earned his money last night was, again, one of the bargains on the team, Maicon Santos. Put a great clear ball through to Dero that Dero flubbed. He had a couple of 3 chances to actually score, which unfortunately he wasn't able to convert. But again, he looked to be, aside from the fact that he wasn't able to convert those goals, he looked to be really the only Toronto FC player, in my humble opinion, that earned his money last night. And Stefan Fry. Again, a couple of weeks ago in Seattle, it was Adrian Can. It looked really bad. Today it was, last night I should say, it was Stefan Fry. that looked bad, particularly on one goal that came from about 25 yards out. Fry let in a bad goal, but again, I don't want to use the thrown under the bus cliche anymore. I've been called on that one, but I think it's kind of unfair to blame a man who you could make a case for being the most valuable player for the team for 2010. I don't think Toronto FC missed the playoffs because of one bad play on the part of Stephen Fry. So TFC now officially takes a step back, don't they? Last season, of course, they finished with 39 points. That was a progression each year. They had a little more, a little more, and a little more. This year, it's official now. TFC, from a points perspective in MLS, is going to take a step back. 2 games left. They've got 31 points. The maximum that they can hope for right now is 37. I don't think, again, with a lack of motivation, I don't think it's going to be a done deal that TFC is going to get any points, frankly, out of those last 2 games, whether it be DC United away or Chivas at home. So that was, of course, a chance last night, and we've got those 2 games to come where Toronto FC has a chance to actually, as a club, show what kind of character they're actually made up of. A lost cause, how you actually, I think, fight in a lost cause, often speaks more to the quality of a man's character than how well you fight when you're assured victory. TFC, from a mathematical point of view right now, has nothing to play for. There are no wins, losses, draws, goals for, goals against, nothing really important, frankly, to play for anything anymore right now, other than pride in the badge, pride in the team, a feeling of obligation to the fans, to give the fans their money's worth. Other than that, there's nothing really else for them to play for. And in that first test of character last night, where TFC went into the game knowing that they were eliminated, that first test of character was there. And what did they do? They failed. So 3 more games left to go. We've got Columbus next Saturday, which I think is going to be an ugly, ugly, ugly game. I think a lot of fan discontent and angst from a lot of people is going to be self-evident on that in that stadium next Saturday. I think you're going to see a lot of empty seats, of course, because again, there's nothing, frankly, to play for. More than anything else, I'm interested in going to the game on Saturday next to actually again see if TFC can actually pass that test of character that I've mentioned a couple of times today, and of course spend time with my friends. A lot of the friends that I see in the stands, I probably won't see until next season. So I'm going for almost more personal reasons than team reasons. So they've got 3 more chances as individual players to play for contracts. They've got 3 more chances to play for the badge, and they've got 3 more chances to play for us. I really hope that they understand that just mailing it in, and frankly it looked like they mailed it in last night, is unacceptable at this point. Fans deserve their players that they cheer for put as much effort into what they're doing as what a lot of the fans do. Having a fan, spend money, go to the game on Saturday, coming, for example, against Columbus, knowing that the game doesn't mean a damn thing, means that the fans care. And I think it's going to be absolutely unacceptable from a fan perspective if the effort and the lack of effort and the lackadaisical attitude that a lot of players, especially a guy like Dero last night, who, by the way, won't be playing on Saturday because of a cheap yellow card that he picked up. He's going to be out for discipline, so looks like he's not going to get a chance to win the Golden Boot. Sorry, Dero. A lot of those players are going to have to step up and show us as fans that they care as much about us as we've cared about them.